Monday, April 1st edition of the Carolina Weather Video. I'm meteorologist Matthew East here with you. We had some rain at times through the Easter weekend, but in many instances the rain sort of occurred during the night. So we actually wound up with a lot of dry conditions through the daylight hours through the weekend. And look at those numbers from yesterday. Easter Sunday, a 71-degree high temperature in Charlotte, approaching 80 yesterday in Columbia, 68 in Raleigh, 73 in Fayetteville, Wilmington at 72, 66 the high yesterday in Greensboro. And it's going to be another mild day today. Pretty mild start to the day. A lot of 50s, even some 60s on the board through the Piedmont over to the coast. Cooler in the mountains. One more mild day before we head back into some chillier weather for a few days, but a much warmer patterns on the way down the road. I'll show you more on that later in the video. There's the radar this morning. Pretty good batch of rain still over parts of eastern North Carolina down into South Carolina during the 5 o'clock hour this morning. There's the Raleigh radar site. Pretty heavy pockets of rain. There's been a few flashes of lightning involved in this at times as well. And certainly that is slowly progressing to the east. So the Interstate 85 corridor pretty much done with the rain now from this system. And bigger perspective here, there's your rain through the Easter weekend. You can see where you have those yellow and orange shades. That's where the heaviest pockets of rain were. And across the Carolinas, you had some folks pick up over an inch of rain. Other folks much less than that. All right, temperatures, 50s across much of the Carolinas, 60s closer to the coast, but here comes that next shot of colder weather moving our way. Some single digits in parts of North Dakota and Minnesota, and that chilly weather will be heading on in. We will squeeze in a mild day today with some above average temperatures, but then that second cold front moves in. That will usher in the cooler weather. A lot of sunshine tomorrow, but highs back below average, and then even a little bit cooler than that on Wednesday. And then we gear up for our next system to approach on Thursday. All right, let's talk about it. All right, here's the European model upper air chart this afternoon. There's your two weather players that we're watching for later this week. Trough ushering in this next shot of colder air, and there's our next storm system out west. By 72 hours, your upper level low there over the Texas and Oklahoma Panhandle regions, and then by 108 hours on the European, there it goes, pretty good closed upper air low down over Mississippi that then progresses into the Georgia and Carolinas area. And I'll show you the differences in the modeling here. First of all, let's go to the Canadian. And this is what the Canadian looks like here for Thursday evening. Surface low over eastern Alabama, and some cold air damming as the system moves in. So that will be a very chilly rain for much of the interior Carolinas arriving late Thursday and Thursday night. The low pressure right over central North Carolina Friday morning, and then by 126 hours, that's a pretty good snowstorm in parts of the Northeast as that low pressure pulls away. Again, that's the Canadian. Let's look at the GFS and its representation here. And let's see, let's start here. There's 96 hours, so this is Thursday evening. And again, you're looking at an area of high pressure that by that point is retreated just offshore. Good cold air damming signature, and there's your low in western Florida. And then you go out to 108 hours on the GFS. Low pressure centered over the eastern Carolinas. And then 114 hours. Oh, I'm sorry, let me go. There you go. There's 114 hours on the GFS. And look at that. That's a nice deformation band of precipitation. The 850 millibar low. This may be tough to see, but your 850 millibar low near and just east of Charlotte by Friday. And so if this were a little bit earlier in the season, this is a good setup for northern and western parts of North Carolina snow, but just a little late in the season, so it's going to be a chilly rain scenario. Finally, the European, here's 108 hours. This is Friday morning. Rain has arrived, and certainly looking at, again, late Thursday and especially Thursday night into at least Friday morning. Looks like a very chilly rain scenario. However, let's look down the road. Oh, by the way, let me show you this. This could make some snow fans sick to see this, but this was the setup by Wednesday evening ahead of the system. There's your high pressure centered over Ohio and Pennsylvania. Kind of a banana high setup, and at least for a period of time, although that high itself is moving eastward. Look at that moisture gathering of the lower Mississippi Valley again. If this were earlier in the season, it would be a good setup to get a snowstorm around parts of the upper southeast. Okay, down the road, there's the NAO. And notice it has been negative since mid-March. But here's your forecast, trending toward positive, and really the biggest weather player that's been driving this cold weather of late has been the Arctic Oscillation. As we got into the latter stages of March, it was extremely negative. It's really been negative for a while, but it really went into the tank in the latter stages of March. And you notice again, since about mid-February, we've had a lot of pretty chilly air around more often than not, and you can largely tie that to the blocking that the negative Arctic Oscillation is indicating. But again, a little bit of a dip here coming up this week with the chilly weather, but notice that Arctic Oscillation surging toward positive as we get deeper into April. And sure enough, the operational model is picking up on that warmer pattern too. This is just a snapshot from the European model next week, the 10th of April. That's a lot of warm air across the southeastern parts of the country. So if you want a warmer pattern, I think it's coming. I think pretty good warm pattern for a period of time coming up as we get deeper into April. All right, that's it for today's edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, and God bless.